It's so nice to be finally sitting down with you.
So nice.
I've been looking forward to this interview, so let's just get started. So tell me about your family, about your childhood.
So growing up with such supportive, caring parents, my mom was a really sweet, loving woman. My dad, very strong, supportive, created such a fun and comfortable environment for me. They even bought me a younger baby, and we grew inseparable. My mother hoped we would one day join in union. That was the purpose of her, hopefully for her. And many siblings. Really fun childhood.
That's great. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, Victor, so can you tell me about your feelings towards science and your curiosity of it as a child?
Yes. In my youth, I had this insane thirst for knowledge, and I was guided by the works of many natural philosophers that I was reading, like Cornelius Agrippa. I saw that there were so many things to be discovered about life in the elixir of life that I was profounded to learn more and discover it. So while my father was not a scientific man, I saw that there was so much to be learned, and I wanted to prosper and grow on that. I often did get discouraged with myself, and I saw myself, be indecisive about whether I was doing it right. I often, kind of configured my mind about the way that mathematics was working, but I saw it all come back down to nature and how much we could discover about, the body. I saw that we were so complex and that there was so much to learn, and so my thirst for knowledge it continued to grow and grow. And when I was 15, there was a thunderstorm that really opened up my mind to how intense nature could be, and therefore I was unstoppable. Although I was discouraged at times, my love for science, it remained at heart.
Thank you.
So Victor, what would you say was an influence as to why you wanted to put life into something that was already deceased?
Well, with my curiosity and my want to know everything there is about life and just the world in general, along with my mother's death before going to college, I think I was just subconsciously thinking about death in a new way without even realizing it, because I experienced such a tragedy right before I left to school, which is, changed my focus just to death and all there is to know about it. My mother's death right before going to college, it was almost a gateway to increased enticement in the fields of physiology and anatomy. So I think all this going on, especially right before I went to school, really led me to think about death in a new way. Also along with the elixir of life.
Thank you.
Cornelius Agrippa, Paracelsus, Albertus Magnus. These philosophers have taught me everything I know.
So Victor, let's move on. Now that the creature has been created, what is your take on science at the moment?
I'm ruined. It's ruined me. The creature, it's my biggest regret. It's my biggest mistake. I let this one thing that I loved so much take me over and it's just too much. I don't know what to do. The creature, my worst invention. I used to love science, natural philosophy. I can't even stand the thought. It makes me sick to my stomach. Was that him? He could be anywhere. Was that him?
Victor, so first of all, I want to apologize about your losses. But I was hoping we could talk about William and Justine, and if you could tell me, what happened with them.
I'm guilty. It was me. If I hadn't created the creature, none of this would have happened. William, so young, my brother, Justine, innocent. For what? The creature? I'm sorry. William and Justine. What can I say? It was my fault. I created the creature. The creature was me. I can only blame myself. That's all I have on that. It's me! I did it! I murdered Justine and William. Me! Because of the creature! I did it. It's my fault!
So, Victor, how was your demeanor as Henry helped you recover after the creation of the creature, and what were your thoughts and feelings as he helped you?
From the years previously spent exerting all my energy into my experiment, I became mentally and physically drained and completely exhausted. I was practically lifeless, and I couldn't recover my senses as I fell into illness. It was Henry that brought me back to life and nursed me to health, and unfortunately this became a sort of disorder to me, as throughout the time of the creature I started to fall into the illness multiple times.
Thank you. Henry?
Victor.
It's
okay.
I feel so sick.
It's okay. Judy. You're gonna be okay.
So, Victor, what was your initial reaction to the creature's story?
So when I encountered the creature on the top of the mountain, I was filled with rage, and I didn't agree with anything he was saying because I blamed him for the death of my brother and Justine because he did kill them, and then he framed Justine, causing her to die. So the rage just built up in me as I knew it was his fault for the deaths. And after thinking, I realized that I owed it to him because I did create him, to listen and hear out his story and understand how he felt in the society that he was in. Victor, based on the circumstances that the creature provided you to make him a female creation, what did you end up doing, and what was your reasoning behind it?
So I was definitely inclined to hear out the creature after previously wanting to dismiss him so rapidly. I felt like this is something I wouldn't normally have done, but you know, a change did overcome me, and so I did proceed to make him a female creation. But I decided in that moment that it wasn't right, that I would be hurting society once again. I had no idea the intentions of this new creation I was to make, and so I did tear the body apart. I know that the creature saw me, and there's been so many issues since then, and I knew that there would be problems, but I knew deep down in me that as a person I couldn't let this happen again to more people, as it did happen to William, and as a result to Justine. I knew that this was the creature's fault and I wouldn't have another one running amok. So I had to do what I had to do, and I had to destroy it.
Thank you. Of course.
When the creature and Victor came face to face, it became really apparent that Victor did not see himself at all as a fatherly figure, even though he did seriously create the creature, literally limb by limb. Which brings the question of, how do parents feel when they make designer babies? Something that goes on today in society is a physical alter of genes by parents to determine, a physical appearance of their baby. And so they do feel that parent love. They do feel that father or that motherly love. It brings the question of, what's the difference here and what's the similarity? But this is how the creature in Victor's relationship of him not feeling like a father is relevant today. When Victor created the creature, we knew that there was an indirect correlation to his mother's death, a trauma, and then that therefore affected the action of creating the creature, and then that was a negative effect on the society around them in the deaths of the other characters. Now this connects to today's world, as there could be a student at a school and he is bullied, and then there is therefore a trauma. That trauma therefore can make him act out in rage. maybe unfortunately in a school shooting, and then that school shooting does affect the community and the society as we see it today. This is a correlation between how Victor's trauma affected society and then how today a student's trauma can affect society.
Victor was motivated by revenge on the creature. At the end of the novel, we see that he chases him to the North Pole to get revenge for all that he has done wrong, all the murders and corruption that happened. We see this in society as something may happen to a family, like maybe a death of a family member, and then therefore they want revenge on whatever happened. I saw it in a documentary. A man, his grandparents were slaughtered, and he chased the murderers to Alaska to try and get revenge. This connects to Victor's motivations to want to get revenge, as it is seen in today's society.